Hello, and how are you today? Welcome to you from around the world and in the United States. This is the Diana Wright Show, and we thank you so much for joining us, and we trust that this is a great day for you to celebrate your life. We all have problems, we all have things that we can complain about, we all have Hagars in our lives. Yes, you know, Abraham had to put Hagar into the wilderness with his son in order to please God, in order to serve God, in order to make that sacrifice. And as Bishop Jake says, it doesn't mean that Abraham was no longer thinking about Hagar, missing Hagar, crying for Hagar, smelling Hagar when he was actually with Sarah. But he had to make a sacrifice in order for God to give him his blessing, and in order for him to show God that he was truly loving him and him alone. So what is the sacrifice that you're making in your life today? And what is it that is really making you so upset, so depressed, so downtrodden today that you cannot celebrate yourself? Love yourself. Look in that mirror and say, I love me. What is it that is holding you back? Well, I'm here to tell you that we all have problems. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how wonderful your life looks on the outside. There's a Hagar hanging somewhere there in your past. And there's a sacrifice that you have to make at some point. And there comes a time in your life that you need to just simply look in the mirror and say, I love me. And on April 30th, every single year, from this day forward, I will celebrate me. I will love me. I will appreciate me. I will be thankful to God for me and how he made me, as opposed to all the naysayers and the negativity around me. So I ask you today to celebrate. There has to be something in your life, no matter how small it is, that you will celebrate today. Today is Wellness Wednesday. We're still waiting for Dax to Skype in with us and join us, or by phone. So we're going to continue to talk about what's going on in the world. Lots of things are happening. But I want you truly to take this moment to think about one thing in your life that's going good. Everybody seems happy and, they have lots of money and they're going places, and you'd like to go places, and you're wondering, oh my God, when will you bless me? Well, I'm here to tell you that there is something in your life that you can be grateful for. You have to find it. I can't tell you what it is. You know what it is. And it doesn't matter how small that thing is. When you celebrate it, it gives you hope and takes you to another level, another place of joy and peace and happiness and abundant health, wealth, and prosperity. Because that's what God wants for us. So are you willing to do that today? Or are you just going to stay in your muddle of self-pity and your pity party? Forgive yourself for whatever it is you think you did or you didn't do. You had a bad husband? Forget about him. He's gone. Are you divorced? Yeah. You're going to brood for a while, and you should brood for a while, and you should take time to grieve before jumping into another relationship. But you need to get over it. And all you women who are wearing that ring from your ex-husband and still calling your name Mrs. So-and-so, you're not anymore. If you're divorced, it's over. Even though the judge, like in Spain, I'll give you that story later, forcing some couples to stay in the same apartment and divide it in two. You live on one side, I live on one side. We're divorced. But we must get along for the sake of the children, who will be bruised and destroyed and get into all kind of crazies because their parents divorced. Yes, we do know that divorce has great effect on children. So let not that be. God doesn't like divorce. You know, you should always try to mend your marriage, forgive, and go on. Unless there's someone beating you up or something like that. There's physical abuse. Sometimes there's mental abuse and emotional abuse. We don't want you to stay in that. But can anything be helped with counseling? Not all things can be helped with counseling and fasting and prayer. Some things you just gotta take the chance and do it. Not that you forgot the person, and don't go out there and badmouth the person that you were with. Oh, how did you stay with that person so long if that person was so bad? Just forget about him. It's not worth your time. And you need to get rid of that person's ghost out of your life, actually. You truly do. So I encourage you to love yourself today and open your boxes of blessings and feel the blessing of God and say thank you for waking me up this morning. I see that the Wall Street Journal is calling the Republican Party the kamikaze party. Whoa. Now the Wall Street Journal, I thought, was a Republican place that's so conservative. But even they realize that what the Republicans are planning to do to shut down the government on September 30th, headed by Mr. Canadian, not so sure where he was born, Texan, Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and all the other Tea Partiers that are calling for the government to shut down, because they will put that bill. As a matter of fact, they've actually put the bill forward to defund Obamacare, and it has to be tied with everything else that has to do with the nation. Okay, Mr. Ted Cruz, I wonder how far you think that's going to take you. Yeah, it might give you glory for a moment with your Tea Partiers and your crazies in the party, but how long you think that's going to take you? You will never, ever, 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 ever be president of the United States. And Rand Paul, neither will you be. Neither will you be, Mr. Marco Rubio. So when you all are thinking to get your own glory and forget about what's right for the American people, you need to take a step back and you need to listen to the country. And you say you don't like polls? Oh, everybody loves polls when it's in their favor. We only not like polls when it's talking against us and it's showing us that the American people are not in sync with the crazies of the Republican Party. So, kamikaze party, listen to the wisdom of the Wall Street Journal. It is indeed a good newspaper that gives you good information. So if it is calling for you to stop the drama and the craziness, I think you should listen. I'm so sorry for Speaker Boehner, though, because Speaker Boehner just looks like he just can't control them unruly children that he has under his wing. Named the Tea Partiers who came to Washington, so says Rush Limbaugh, to obstruct and stop and block anything that Obama tries to do. So we see that Mark Zuckerberg of the wonderful Facebook, who got me and my best friend back together, is no doubt going to Washington to try to fight and support immigration to get back on the table somehow? Because right now, I think it's off the table. My special guest on Friday will be Pastor Seaton, who is part of PUSH, of the KUSH organization that's helping with that whole process. He'll be here on Friday to talk about it. And tomorrow, we'll have Judith from People 490 join us to talk about careers and education. And what is it with, I want to ask Judith, what is it with Will Smith's son? I think his name is Jadine or something like that, whatever. He's talking about, education is not necessary and it doesn't make sense for you to go to school. Yeah, you can talk, my brother, because you have a whole lot of millions stacked up in the bank. And your father had the legacy for you to do what? To talk stupid stuff. I wonder what conversation you can actually hold even though you're a multi-million-dollar movie star with your mom and your dad both movie stars and can take you along because it's because of their legacy why you are able to talk stupid stuff. Let not our young people forget that you need to educate yourself. Education is key and important. So right now, we're going to educate you and take a break right now on the Diana Wright Show. We'll be back in just a moment as we line up this and hello everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one,
What's up?
in my case, my only child, to the hospital
Okay.
in a normal state,
I don't know what's feeding. But
and then you leave 5 months later,
there you go.
brain damaged, in a
Okay,
wheelchair, without
Just
your
come to your
senses.
left a little bit.
This
your
is
center.
my
Over
true
a little more.
story. Deadly
There you go.
Negligence.
Perfect.
The book.
Less headroom.
Available on Amazon.
There you go.
And at my website,
Perfect. Little less headroom.
dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking
Alrighty.
you
Good.
today to
Okay.
get a
We will
copy.
join as soon as I
Support
dump this
my
promo.
story. Let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. Okay, I'm back, and welcome back to the Diana Wright Show, live online, www.dianawrighttv.webs.com. Did I say that too fast? No, I didn't. Dax is with me now, and of course, you know, Dax is the guy that takes us through the Wellness Wednesday, and I have some nice questions for him as usual, so we're going to bring him in and let him join us. Hey, Dax, how are you?
Hi Diana. Hi. Good morning. How are you?
I am good. And what's going on today with you? How was your event last night? Did you get washed out by the rain? Oh my goodness, I was feeling so sick, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
You know, we did a raw food demonstration,
Mm-hmm.
and the company Green Wave Cafe came in, and it was really very informative.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I realized is that, you know, when you're in this and excited about it and so passionate,
Mm-hmm.
it sometimes can be overwhelming. So, you know, the presenter, she was, you know, equally passionate as I am. I kind of got it was a way to observe how it comes across to somebody watching or listening. So I know that sometimes I'm very, very excited and stuff, and I just, I'm doing my best to find a way to share in the most effective way so that people can learn and appreciate what we have to offer, not just in terms of weight loss, but in terms of, learning how the body works and how we can give it the support on a daily basis.
Okay, wonderful. So, all right, well, I have some questions here. First, I want to start off with a question about sugar, because, I'm wondering if you're supposed to eat fruits and vegetables a lot. Yeah, fruits especially. Well, for me, I ate too much of one fruit, so I could not leave the bowl of the toilet.
Which fruit? The melons?
Yes, the honeydew. Mr. King Arthur honeydew. So, I wanted to be there so bad, and I'm going, no, I can't, because when I texted you there, I was like standing at the toilet.
And you know what? That's a good thing.
And I said, oh God, I'm going to kill Dax, because he tells you to eat all these healthy things, and then when you're supposed to do something, you can't do it because of this thing. So I was having a love affair with the toilet bowl yesterday. Seriously, because I guess what happened, I was eating so much of the honeydew. I didn't think it was an excessive amount, just enough to fill me, but I didn't have enough other food in my system to keep it there. So it was just coming.
Well, how you feel now?
Wonderful, as usual.
And as I said, I think one of the things I learned yesterday is that how the body actually processes meat and protein. That I actually didn't realize that even some of the vegetables we eat that are high in protein, that protein the body actually converted to sugar. So actually, back to your question, you were asking about sugar in fruits and that kind of stuff. We have to make a clear distinction. A fruit is a whole food. It actually has the sugar, it has the protein, it has all the nutrients that your body needs, but most importantly, it has the fiber. And when you eat the whole food, then your body can break down and take what it needs and flushes out the rest. If you're eating sugar, as far as refined or processed sugar that has been extracted without the actual, fiber, then you have a completely different experience. And I think your experience last night was totally positive, and I would actually question whether or not you needed more foods, that it really was giving you a natural detox. Right. And now, if you continue to support your body with natural foods that are low in sugar and can continue, and are whole foods, you'll actually continue to see the nice results that you want to get. Okay, because I asked you that question also too, not just for myself, but someone said, oh, they're diabetic, and should they be consuming a lot of fruit because the fruit has so much sugar? Watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe, apples, they all have sugar. And I said, well, it's natural, but I'll find out from that. So that person should also realize that even though you think you're consuming proteins, proteins are broken down by your body and converted to sugar for energy. Because that's the way that your body actually burns energy. It burns the glucose. So even protein, for your body to use it, it's breaking it down to amino acids and then into a sugar to be absorbed by the body. So, it's a longer process, but also giving off a lot of things that the body is unable to process. Right. When you're eating whole fruits and vegetables, your body is able to take what it needs and using the fiber, flush out what it doesn't need. So the big difference is that, yes, it's true that fruit are high in sugar, but it's also true that sugar is not absorbed in the same way that the sugar from protein would be absorbed, and it's really an interesting thing to understand.
It is. It really is, because people are diabetic. I mean, they're going, oops, you're telling me to eat fruit, and that fruit has a whole lot of sugar?
Yep.
And I'm diabetic.
And you're diabetic because you're eating too much protein. And the protein is being converted to sugar, and your body don't know what to do with that sugar, and you know you have a high sugar level, but it's coming from the protein,
not from
the fruit.
Okay.
And the science has been misguided with this, and this is not Dax Dunn saying this. There's several videos that you can watch online, and they've changed their position. Unfortunately, we the consumer is not getting that information as fast as we should.
Right.
But the fact is, there is science to show that the high levels of animal proteins are what actually causes diabetes. And if you can do more fruits and vegetables, even though the fruits may be high in sugar, it's actually better for your body, and it will relieve and remove the symptoms. Ideally, what you want if you're diabetic is to have more green leafy vegetables. They produce a detox response and flushes the body out.
Right.
But eating healthy foods in the whole form, not juices, eating the actual fruit, you'll get significant benefits as a diabetic in terms of the body balancing, returning to balance.
Okay, I want to just also take a minute to talk about the carbohydrates that become sugar for diabetics. And if we look at the people who are from the Spanish origin, who love their food is tacos and floury things, and they eat that every single day, and there's a massive breakout in their communities that, young kids are having diabetes. And I was talking to my friend in Jamaica yesterday, because she's part of the Kiwanis Club, there's a major problem in Jamaica with diabetes right now. And they're having struggles with getting the proper equipment for the poorer part of the nation, and also for the chairs. So my girlfriend, who is a doctor, got some chairs. My girlfriend Pat Gurrell, who lives in Jamaica, and Verna Brooks, who is a doctor who lives in New York, they presented yesterday at a function 2 diabetic chairs that she brought with, sent from New York, because they just don't have enough chairs. They don't have enough machines for the people. People are coming out of taxi cabs and falling down and dying in front of these people at the clinic, because they can only come 2 days for the diabetic treatment, because they can't afford the taxi drive or whatever to get there. So I don't know if you remember, and when I was growing up, everybody would talk about, oh, Mr. So-and-so have a little touch of sugar, And it's not until I came to the United States that I realized this sugar thing that they're talking about is diabetes. And you have a lot of Caribbean people, in particular Jamaicans that I know, they will have one meal with dumplings, bananas, yams, and potatoes in that same meal. And I thought about it yesterday, because we were discussing, she was telling me some of the people who are diabetic, like the guy who won that first gold medal for Jamaica for the Olympics. I forgot his name right now. A man that I know very well, Mr. Forbes, who's blind because he was diabetic. My girlfriend, Norma Shirley, who died because of diabetes. And I'm just wondering, how is it that all of a sudden, maybe it's not all of a sudden, it seems like diabetes is just the disease of the moment taking us over. And you're in the health business, or the wellness business, I should say. How do you even try to, and as a matter of fact, while I'm doing this, if you can donate some money to that Kiwanis Club in Jamaica with Pat Gurrell and Dr. Verna Brooks, and trying to get them some more chairs, and even the machine itself that does the dialysis. Oh my God, it's so pathetic and so sad to see what's going on down there. So, I just want to hear your thoughts on something like that.
So I'm gonna give the best and greatest gift that I can give.
Okay.
And that is the knowledge that diabetes has nothing to do with the treatment. The diabetes is a lifestyle disease that occurs because the difference in our food supply.
Right.
That we have come to believe that processed foods and high animal protein foods are food. And if we return to more natural foods, we will find that diabetes will be eliminated. So I cannot support any kind of medical treatment for diabetes because I know that diabetes can be reversed, removed, and completely eliminated by simply people changing their diet.
Okay, so I'm not so mean then. Because I keep saying to my mom, you need to just stop eating this and stop eating that.
You're absolutely right. And
she thinks I'm mean.
No. Green leafy vegetables. The biggest problem for anybody who is listening to this who cares about somebody with diabetes is realizing that they have an addiction to the foods that they're eating now. And in their mind, they can't change. That if they stop eating those, they're going to be miserable. Because when they don't eat certain foods, they really do get miserable. They have the sugar craving, they have the carb crashes, and they're really upset and miserable. It's like a woman PMSing. So what you need to realize is that if you detox yourself off of these high protein, high carb diets into a more healthy live food program as far as raw foods and green leafy vegetables, within days symptoms reverse, the cravings subside, and you start feeling better, and you can get off your medication within as little as weeks in terms of restoring health in the body. And this is something that is known. This is not a secret, I'm telling you. Unfortunately, there is an industry about selling equipment, selling medication, providing insurance services through the insurance companies. And, who is going to, the people who are making the money on that can't give that up. That is how they sustain their opulent lifestyle. And unfortunately, we don't have the resources to put the information out there. But you are doing a great job in asking that question, and I'm sharing what I have learned. This is not something that's coming through me. You can go online on YouTube and see hundreds of doctors talk about how this thing can be changed and what we need to do to change it, which is all very simple. Every single person has the ability in their own community to just start looking at more green leafy vegetables and seeing the reversal of this disease in our communities.
Okay, all right. So maybe Dax and I should kind of start going around and telling people to be well by doing certain things. Seriously, because I think people get. Actually, I was watching something online or doing some research or something else, and I bumped upon it that there's actually an ingredient in bacon that makes it so addictive. And I thought of you, of course, because you said that's your one thing that you have once in a while. And I thought, wow, yes, there is. They name the thing, And so you just have to do some research, really.
But the thing with the bacon, I haven't had bacon in almost, going on for 3 months now.
Okay.
So it's funny because you're right. In my head,
yes,
I like it, but because I've changed my diet and I just don't have any interest in it. So that just goes to show you're right. It's addictive to the point that you say, "Boy, I'm gonna love it."
I love this.
Yeah. But if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. If you change the things you've been doing, the things that you want to do will change.
All right. Okay, my special guest inside the Diana Wright Show this morning is Dax Dunn, and we're talking wellness. He comes to us from Rad Wellness, and that's Rad for You rad4u.com. It's easy to remember, actually. It's rad, the number 4, the letter u.com. Rad4u, trying to get you to wellness. Is that a good way of putting it?
That's it.
Okay.
RAD is, a lot of times people don't know what RAD means. Yeah. RAD is reaching another dimension for you. That we want to give you the tools to take charge of wellness in your life on a very local basis. We're not a medical program. We're not a pharmaceutical program. We're about natural daily choices that you can make to bring health and wellness into your life, from breathing deeply to drinking enough water to eating as much green leafy vegetables and natural foods to get your results, to be well, to live well, and to stay well.
All right, tell us a little bit, Dax, about how some of your products in particular can actually help us to get to this point, because sometimes you just have to start from scratch. And I think that starting with the products that you provide will help people to flush whatever they have and start new. Yeah?
It is easy. It is simple. It really is just about a free consultation. You don't even have to, just everybody is different.
Right.
And we just want to invite you to give yourself a chance to see what's available to you through this process. And just give us a call at 1-866-786-3617, and we'll talk to you, understand your situation, and then make a recommendation and find a program that's going to fit you, and then work with you on a daily basis to get your results. But the first step is a free, no obligation consultation. Nobody's selling you anything. We just want to understand where you are in terms of what your challenges are, and then work with you to find solutions on a daily basis.
Okay, I want to switch the conversation now as we continue to talk about wellness. I want to talk a little bit about sex and food and how, diabetes, we know, affect the sex drive of men. It can create all other things, like you lose your foot, your toe, you can become blind. So what is it about just trying to give up those things? So how does the food you eat, because some people are saying that the foods you eat actually help or not help your sex drive. What do you know about that?
Well, food is everything. Food is breathing is number one. Unless you breathe properly and bring in air into the body, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
If you're not drinking enough water, you're putting a lot of strain and stress on your body, and you're gonna find the disease and the imbalances building up in your body. And then the third thing is food. The food you eat has a direct correlation on your mood, your energy, your thought process, your sex drive, your libido. All of these things are totally affected and connected.
Right.
And as I said, the biggest problem is that so many of the things that we're considering as food today are overly processed, meat-based products. And if we can just move back to a more plant-based lifestyle, fruits and vegetables are the foods that our body was designed to use and to consume, and then we'll see significant improvements. After that, if you want to add some meat back, no problem. And when we talk about animal products, we're not talking about just the pork and the cow, the heavy, red meat.
Yeah.
All meat products, including fish, including eggs, including milk, including cheese, including all of those products, you need to cut back on it and allow the body to detox itself, and then after you return to balance, you may be able to add moderate amounts of meat into your diet. Okay,
and all those other products. You mentioned processed foods, and I saw an article talking about the processed foods that you need to avoid. Salad dressing. They say that just read the label. That's the advice they gave. Read the label. Not going to tell you anything. Just read the label. And then...
Sorry to interrupt you, but one of the things with salad dressing, and as I said, for me it was, I love salads, but you want something on it for flavor.
Me too. I could not eat salad without dressing.
Right, but guess what? You can make homemade dressings, ginger. I'll give somebody a recipe listening right now. Get 1 tomato, 1 carrot, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of oil, and some salt and pepper. Blend it up in one of these NutriBullets or a
blender.
Any blender, and that's a perfect dressing. The thing is, it probably only lasts 3 or 4 days in terms of the shelf life in your fridge.
Right.
But that's the difference, that a dressing that you can have in your fridge for 2 or 3 years, just understand, that's full of toxins and preservatives. If it was natural, it would go bad. Okay. If it's unnatural, then it has preservatives in it, and that's what's making you sick.
Okay, all right. So I want that recipe again. Tomato, carrots, a little oil.
1 tomato, 1 carrot, some oil, some vinegar, and some salt and pepper. You could add ginger. That alone is good. But if you really want to take it to a whole different level, add a little piece of ginger to it, and you have a ginger dressing. There's a dressing that you get in a lot of these Thai restaurants.
Yes, love it. I know what you're talking about.
That recipe I just gave you is the carrot, the ginger, the tomato, and the salt and pepper. That's it. Nothing else. And you just, to your flavor, you want a little more salt, you want a little more pepper, you want a little more spice, add some cayenne pepper. That's it.
Okay, all right. So the vinegar, though, are you promoting that we use regular vinegar, or because I personally only use the vinegar with the mother in it? Those little black things. Yes, the apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar is great, but I don't see too much negativity around the other types of vinegar.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
All right, so that's great then. All right, so we got that recipe for a little salad dressing at home, because if you're like me, well, for me, I just think there are too many issues around eating the spinach out of the bag. People get sick, there's salmonella, oh my goodness, I can't keep track. So I just believe that a little heat on anything I'm eating is good because I'm hoping that it kills whatever's there, as opposed to me just eating it out the bag. And another caution too is for you people who buy these things in the bags and you think, it saves me time, please wash it before you use it. Sure. I'm begging you, please wash them first. Even though they tell you it's washed, it's pre-washed, you wash it again, okay? All right, okay. So go ahead.
You're talking about salmonella and washing foods and stuff. There is a germ theory. Which is the one that says, germs are everywhere and we need to, use the Purell and the sanitize and get rid of the germs. But there's another theory that says germs, you can't get rid of them. They're constantly there. They only are effective at hurting us when we have an imbalance in the body.
Right.
So salmonella is not something that if a healthy person ate it would make them sick. Salmonella is something that for somebody who is unhealthy, being exposed to it would trigger the body going off in this whole illness. And it's something to consider. I'm not suggesting not to wash your food by any stretch. In fact, washing your food in pure water is one of the healthiest things you can do. But I'm saying, let's be careful that we don't go down the whole washing it and overwashing it and having to cook everything and kill all the germs, because you lose the nutrient value. So raw, healthy foods that have been washed in clean water is sufficient, is healthy, and is certainly ready for consumption. And if you maintain that type of eating without the heavy preservatives, you won't get sick. You'll be perfectly fine.
Okay then, so let's talk about raw vegetables and raw foods for a minute then, because Okay, for me, I would love to have coleslaw. That's, with the shredded cabbage and all that kind of stuff, and carrots and, But then, if I'm eating a whole lot of cabbage, I want it to be cooked. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that at all. No, let's go back to the coleslaw.
Okay.
The coleslaw, if it's just cabbage and carrots, you're great. But a lot of times the coleslaw has the mayonnaise and the other things that have been added to it. So, is the coleslaw you're talking about just the vegetables, or is there something added to it?
Well, most of the times when you get it, and like some places that you eat, they'll say that it's homemade, or you can taste the difference from a homemade coleslaw as opposed to one that's coming from some big container. Yeah, sure. There's a difference. You actually taste the difference. So I'm not quite sure what they put in it, but it's much lighter in terms of the mayonnaise, I think. So I would assume that they put mayonnaise, or just probably put less mayonnaise in there.
Right.
Is mayonnaise bad though? Is mayonnaise really bad if you just use a little? Oh God, Dax is shaking his head. Yes, it is, Diana. Don't try to get away with this one.
Mayonnaise is eggs. There's a lot of eggs in the mayonnaise.
Right.
So mayonnaise is a very dairy, egg-based product. So you should be careful about mayonnaise.
So what about the eggnog and the custard that your grandmother used to make, and it was so good with condensed milk?
Here's the thing. If you had it when in the season, if you had it around Christmas time,
okay.
This and a little that. But if you're drinking it on a regular basis, every week or every day, then it's toxic to the body. So once in a while, it's fine. But on a regular basis, be very careful. But back to your question.
Yes.
Raw salad, raw cabbage is great, and I strongly encourage people to have some of it. But cabbage can also be very it cuts through. So some people, it can give them an upset stomach. It's very strong, and when you cook it, you soften it up, and it's easy to digest. So steaming the cabbage is great, but having it raw, not as much, is dangerous. So I think you're right on the right path. I would just be a little bit careful about the mayonnaise in the coleslaw. But as far as cooking one and having the other one raw, I think you're right in line. I think that's a good way to go.
Okay, so when you cook your cabbage, what do you put in there? Because you see, I don't want everybody to think that Dax and I are food police. We're not the food police, because you still need to have some fun and enjoy some goodness. Okay, so
sure.
There's this guy who, I think he's in Michigan. He is mad with Starbucks because he's saying that Starbucks offers a pumpkin spice latte, but they put condensed milk in it, and he's vegan, and they are not offering him an alternative. And he's mad as hell because he's on Facebook, he's everywhere talking about it. So I said, okay, I'm going to ask Dax, shouldn't we be having a little fun sometimes? Do we always have to have a vegan thing for this thing?
Well, you're asking me a personal question, and personally,
yes,
I am about having a balanced lifestyle, and I'm not about eliminating every meat or dairy product and never think it. But what I'm really committed to more is educating people on the problems with it, as it being our staple. That the idea that you're going to give your kids milk every morning, bad idea. You're not helping them at all. You actually are hurting your kids to give them milk every day. The idea that you're going to drink milk to get your calcium supply, bad idea. Science shows that milk does not give the body calcium. It actually leaches the body. So there's so much misinformation. That's more important. And then after that, I still eat my Doritos. I still have my Cheez-Its. I still enjoy banana chips. I still have, even chicken and shrimp and fish, but in moderation, not as a daily staple. The things that are on my plate on a daily basis are the fruits and vegetables.
Okay,
Last night I had cantaloupe for dinner.
Yes, I do. You look. Did you try the King Arthur honeydew from Publix? Well, the season is almost finished. You have to go get it before the season finishes because it's a very short season. And I want you to tell me about that because you can buy it. You know, some fruits you buy it and you have to let it sit and ripen. You can buy that King Arthur, and I don't know what they do or what's in it or what they put in the earth, but it's sweet and it's ripened, and you can buy it from Publix and just cut it up right away. So,
I'm gonna check
yes, please. Yes, you better. Next week Wednesday, don't come back without telling me about King Arthur, okay? All right. Okay, I'm going to go down some foods now that I thought are important that we need to talk about. Avocado.
Very good, very healthy. Natural fats. That's a healthy fat that the body needs. You know, I mean, again, you don't want to overdo it with fats in the body, but avocado, great. If you're having it, you know, once, twice a week, no problem.
Mangoes.
Mangoes in the season are good. You know, they tend to be very high in sugar, but no, not the worst thing for you at all. Unfortunately, they tend to also bring parasites into the body.
Ouch.
So it may be a good idea to do a slight detox after the mango season.
Okay, watermelon.
Good. Lots of water, lots of sugar. Good for the body though. Gives you a good flush out. Flushes out the kidney. Cleans the liver. Good thing.
Okay. All right. So we were talking about the other things, which we are processed foods that you really should avoid. Breakfast cereals. Packed with sugar, they say.
Even if they're raw, you know, you don't need that much cereal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even that granola raw thing that you get from Whole Food and those places, not so great because it's still filled with sugar.
Especially because of the time of day that you tend to have it. You have it in the morning, but in the morning the body is in the elimination mode. So your body really wants just water and fruit to clean itself out in the morning. Come midday, now you have your more heavy meals. So if you have your rice and your potatoes, and you know, and the vegetables at around midday, that's okay. And then in the evenings, you're back to a light salad, you're back to a light, you know, fruit plate or fruit cup. But avoid the yogurts, avoid the things that are in a package. It, as healthy as it may seem, the Greek yogurt, no, they're not healthy. They're not. The ones that have the Activia and the enzymes, the probiotics, they're no good. You don't need them. You're much better off just having an apple, having a banana, having a piece of the honeydew melon, you know, having some fruit.
Peach.
That's a form of peach.
And peach makes you young, huh?
Yes.
You talk about probiotics just now because I was coming to it. So I'll just break this and go right to what you just said. What is probiotics, and is it really that you must have probiotics to be healthy?
You must have probiotics to be healthy, but you automatically have probiotics if you're eating fruits and vegetables. Probiotics are simply the microbial organisms that are used to break down fruits and vegetables in the gut and help to give you the healthy digestive flora.
Right.
Antibiotics are the things that the doctor gives you, or gives the cows, or gives the animal products that you buy. So beef is full of probiotics, milk is full of probiotics, cheese is full of probiotics, because they have to give antibiotics. Sorry, all of that I said is wrong. Milk is full of antibiotics.
Right.
Cheese is full of antibiotics.
Yeah.
All of these, beef, they're all chicken, all of them have a lot of antibiotics because the way that these animals are raised cause them to get sick very easily, and they give them the antibiotics to keep them healthy. When those antibiotics get into your body, because they kill the natural probiotics that are in your gut, and then you have the constipation, the indigestion, the diabetes, and all of these things that go along with it. So the companies now say, okay, if you killed off the probiotics, let's put probiotics in a bottle and sell it so we can replace the healthy flora.
Right.
And it's not the worst thing that you can do, but the best thing you can do is eat more green leafy vegetables, more fruits and vegetables that naturally have the probiotics and will restore the balance in the gut.
Okay, I want to go back to my special guest, of course, this morning. It's Wellness Wednesday. It's Dax Dunn. And we're talking about a range of things. I want to go back to diabetes for a minute because some people say to me, oh, well, it's hereditary. What do you want me to do? My personal opinion is that, yes, it's hereditary, but you don't have to indulge in the things that you know because you have more knowledge now than your parents did. So you know, right?
It's not hereditary. I will agree that different bodies, like so in black people, our need for healthy green leafy vegetables, or we are predisposed to be more of a vegetarian lifestyle, whereas there are other races have more of a carnivorous lifestyle, so they can eat meat and process it better. So on that level, genetically, I'll agree to that.
Okay.
But as far as you're predisposed to getting diabetes because it's just going to come out of thin air, no. It comes because of the food choices that you make, and you may make those food choices because culturally you're used to eating a certain way. So you mentioned the Spanish and the fact that they eat a lot of carbs and overly processed foods.
Right.
That's not natural food. That's the foods that they were introduced to as they were westernized or influenced by other groups on them.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we let's get rid of Dax right there now because Dax is gone. All right. Okay, I want to go back to this now. Canned soup. Did I say that one? Canned soup. That's one of the processed foods they're asking you to stay away from.
Right.
Okay.
Hear me, right?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you with a feedback though. I don't know why. I'm getting like a feedback, and I'm not supposed to be because I wasn't before. Okay. All right. Let's see if that helps. All right. Yeah, I'm still hearing myself back in a weird way. You know. Anyway, let's try to deal with pasta sauce. Because a lot of us, we're making pasta, we're not Italian, we don't know how to make the real thing, yeah? So we go and we buy the bottle. But they're saying don't do that because it's filled with sugar and sodium.
Preservatives.
If
it's in a bottle, if it's in a can, you need to be very careful about it. Maybe you can use the vinegar, the apple cider vinegar. Maybe the oils, the coconut oil or the olive oil is in a bottle. But every other thing that's in a bottle, throw it out. It's not gonna.
What about hurricane season? You're supposed to keep those things in a bottle. I know I'm gonna get you there now. What about hurricane season? They say make sure you have some canned foods and some bottled food, so just in case you have no power, you can eat.
Well,
okay,
if you had grains, or you could have nuts. There are lots of things that will keep, and stuff. And it's okay. One or two, tins of tuna in the case of an emergency, fine. But as I say, in general, people who live out of the canned foods and that's all they eat on a daily basis, they're setting themselves up for disease. And as I say, if you're healthy, you're not overweight, and you feel like you have all the energy in the world, and you're eating canned foods and you're eating meat, great. But if you're sick, if you have diabetes, if your doctor is telling you need to lose some weight, I definitely think that you need to change your diet, and you'll be surprised at the results you get. And the most important thing I can share with people is that the cravings that you think you have now will go away in a matter of days. If you need help, we offer this 21-day detox that is certainly an effective way to produce the same results, but you have to make the choice. You have to commit to changing the way you approach your health, and you'll get different results.
Okay, and he mentioned the detox, and I'm here to tell you that the detox actually changes the way you feel about food. You know, you don't have that, oh, I feel like I'd eat this today, or I feel like I'll eat that today. Most of the times you're just not hungry, and it seems to last for a long time. So my question, before I continue my list here, how often do I need to actually take this detox? Because I just wondered, you know, I have a feeling like it lingers in your system and changes just the way you approach food. Well, for me anyway, I don't know for all your clients, but for me, I find that my cravings for ice cream that I used to have, or cakes, I only eat cake when I bake it, you know, and I have a family that love when I bake. So I bake, and I would confess I eat what I bake, okay? And that's the reason I don't like to bake, because I eat what I bake.
Nothing wrong with that at all. All that it is you're not eating it every single day.
Right.
You're not baking every single day.
Right, exactly.
And you're not eating the whole cake. But back to the question about the detox. The detox is only restoring the natural balance in your body. And then if you do the things to maintain that balance, you probably won't need to do a detox until another 6 months or maybe even a year from now.
Okay.
And then you'll do a much shorter 10-day program just to restore the balance and remove anything that may have built up over time.
Right.
But the key is the choices that you make on a day-to-day basis. And you are making good, healthy choices, so you're going to see the long-term results of the choices that you're making. And I congratulate you, and I encourage anybody that's watching this to make the choice for themselves, to commit to wellness and to find the solutions. And as I say, it's as simple as picking up the phone, giving us a call at 1-866-786-3617. It's a free, no obligation consultation. If you want more information, you can visit the website at www.rad4u.com.
Okay, so let's give a little sample of what a consultation is like. When I call, what are you going to ask me? What do you need to know to help me to say, okay, you need a 21-day fast or more, or detox or more, or you only need 10 days? How do you help a client to get to that place?
We like to say that at RAD, we're all about three things. You, and you. Your goals, your objectives, and your lifestyle. And we need to understand what is your goal. And we're going to ask you the questions in the consultation. What's your goal? And then what's your objective? What we mean when we say objective is how much you want to change. Maybe you don't want to change. Maybe you want to just lose some weight, but you want to maintain, not working out. You want to maintain, doing your life a certain way. That's okay. We're not here to change you. We're here to support you. And then we help to figure out what type of lifestyle you need to have in order to A, achieve your goal, and B, to be able to maintain your objectives.
Right.
And this is the balance that we do in the consultation, that everybody is different, but the bottom line is we need to get to understand what you're about, what you want to do, and then we can help you get there.
Okay, so if I come to you and I say, okay, Dax, or whomever my consultant is assigned to me, I want to lose 100 pounds. I know I can't do it in 21 days. If I do the detox in 21 days, how do I move? Do I have to then continue another 21 till I get to my goal? Or do I do the 21 and then go into a maintenance phase?
Great question. The 21 days is really an introduction to get your body into the detox mode. After the 21 days, you'll be empowered to know what you need to do in order to consistently get those results.
Right.
So for significantly less, you can continue doing 60, 70, 80, 100 days more in order to get your results with the support at the level that you choose. So you may do the first 21 days and get your results, and then you turn around and say, I love having a coach. I want to consistently have a coach with me. I'm going to invest in having someone coach me through the next 80 pounds in order to reach my ultimate goal. Or may decide that I've learned enough, I understand what I need to do, and I'm just interested in having the supplements, and I'll be able to go ahead and on my own continue towards working towards your goal. So whatever you need, we're here to help you to develop it, and that's the difference here at the Rad Wellness Center.
So you're not a weight loss center, you are a wellness center. Okay.
We are, and we are all focused on the detox that happens to result in weight loss. We're not about selling you, weight loss and, food plan and counting calories and all of that. We're about giving you the information and the support to get your results, and then you will know what to do and what you need to do to continue getting those results.
Okay, so what happens if someone does a detox and they are not losing the weight that they want to lose? How do you encourage that person to continue the program or not do the program or just start over the program, whichever way you choose to go?
That's there are few people who find themselves in that situation where they're not getting the results. In a lot of those cases, the water situation, or maybe there's some type of medication that they're on. So it's on a case-by-case basis. We'll sit with them. We'll really look in, to thoroughly evaluate what they can change and where they could make some adjustments. But we're really about, support plus accountability equals successful results. And the support can only come when we know and understand what this particular person is dealing with. So we really want to make sure we know that person, and then we make the recommendations based on that particular individual.
Okay, all right. Wow, the time is almost finished. But I wanted, before you go, though, to talk a little bit about, just a minute or so, about the products. You spoke the other day about Garcinia and Moringa and all that. Is that now part of the detox plan, or are those separate from the detox with the BOL and the ketones and stuff like that?
So we've expanded our product line to add more supplements to support the detox. And depending on the particular client and their needs, those programs are available.
Right.
But the basic program is still the same. The major addition is the digestive detox that significantly helps with constipation and regularity. The saffron and the Garcinia are there. Moringa is not something that we actually use now. We know of it. It's a great product. We do recommend it. But we're not offering at a part of the program.
Okay.
But the bottom line is we want to understand you. It really is not about the products. It's about process. We have a specific protocol that when you follow specific steps on a day-to-day basis, you're gonna get different results. So it's about what time you eat, what time you drink your water, how much water to drink, how your food is prepared. It may sound complicated, but based on the way that we present the information, it's very simple, it's easy to follow, and it's extremely effective. So anybody who is watching and wondering, just call.
Okay.
And let's take day by day, step by step, and we'll get you there.
Okay, so let's give the number and the website one more time, Dax, before you go.
1-866-786-3617. Again, that's 1-866-786-3617. And you can reach us at www.rad4u.com.
All right.
Diana, it's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, yeah. And I never get through what I have for you. Never, ever, ever.
I'm gonna go get the cantaloupe, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yes, and you'll talk about it next week. And see if I lied. I didn't lie. Okay, all right. Take care. Thanks, Dax. All right. Okay, that was my special guest, Dax Dunn, joining me here on the Diana White Show live every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday, as we go through and try to just help you to be well and stay well and live well, as Dax always say. So I thank you so much for joining me today, and I will have to go now. But before I go, I want to remind you that October 19 is my first book signing, and it's going to take place at Midtown 24, the Alibi Room in Plantation. The address is 700 Southwest 78th Avenue in Plantation, as I said before. Do join me. It's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m., so you have no excuse. You should have finished your shopping and all those good things. And, of course, Dax will be there, and he will be having a demonstration of raw food and how to prepare it. So the chef will be there, and we'll have lots of things to talk about. All right? So have a great day, a blessed day, and be well. And join me tomorrow at 10:30 right here as I do what? I'm going to talk to Judith, and she's going to give you some information about education and careers and all the good things and the etiquette of different countries and what you need to know to make yourself a better business person. What's the protocol? Thank you so much for joining me today from around the world and in the United States. This is the Diana Wright Show. Be blessed, and don't forget the magic words. I love me.